The blow. I've been patiently waiting to blow. Welcome to the Tahaka Bay Show. Y'all ready? Let me see who's ready up there. Let me see if y'all can get a couple thumbs up real quick. Family, should we do a call-in show? I want to watch the chat real quick. Should I open the lines within the first quarter of the show and then finish what I want to talk about? What do y'all think? I need a 7 for yes, a 6 for no. Should we open the lines up? Should we open the lines up for the first quarter of the show? Not for the first quarter, but after my monologue, you know what I'm saying? Should we open the lines? Talk to me. Check 1, 2. Do we got somebody that want to call in? Press 7 if you want to call in. Press 7. I mean, press 7 if you want to call in. Now listen. Welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. I'm your host. How am I sounding? Is my sound dropping? Let me make sure my sound ain't dropping, because my sound was supposedly dropping last time. I try to reset everything and update everything, so hopefully my sound is going to do well tonight. How do my sound? They was in my machine, and tonight it seems to be all right. How do my sound? If they call in, I'm going to have to call in too. It's going to get ugly. So anyway, family, I really wanted to really knock this out the park tonight. When I say coward FBAs, that's exactly what I mean. And if you don't understand what I mean, I'm going to run it back quite a few times tonight. You follow me? Number one, the guy Phil Scott is an FBA apologist and opportunist. You follow me? What problem do I have with Phil Scott? Phil Scott disrespects women of the melanated persuasion more than I can appreciate. In other words, our sisters, they can be tough. Don't get it twisted. But when you say things like, don't nobody want to be with a black woman, they fight too much. An American black woman, this is type of commentary he says, they argue too much. And some people probably would agree with it if that's their experience. But to make all of these comments against sisters in America, and then you find out that, hold up, this guy then jumped over the line. And he says, don't marry a sister, don't get with a sister, and show out all the negative qualities that he may have experienced from a sister, and then he go and get someone outside of the construct in which he speaks against, which is understandable. He don't like sisters. I get it. Fine, that's your choice. But at the same time, you don't get to browbeat the sisters. You don't get to do that. That's real coonery. You don't get to do that. And so, yeah, that's a problem I have with him. Another problem I have with Phil, Mr. Phil, is that, yes, like I said, he's an opportunist. He run around proselytizing for FBA, but try to profitize off of Africa. His channel is called the Africa Diaspora channel. But But he proselytized for FBA. There was a time that he used to proselytize for the Hebrew Israelites. There was a time he was proselytizing for the Hebrew Israelites. You follow what I'm saying? So my thing is, wherever he find opportunity for news that can up his ratings, he's going to be on it. And normally, it's going to be something that is of the pro-black ideal. Someone say, I thought his wife was black. Well, according to sources, this is his wife. This is his wife, according to sources. You know what I mean? So proselytize for my good brother Cryptonomics, who is the greatest mod on YouTube. If he goes anywhere, he's banned. They don't like him. You know what I mean? But he done looked it up already. Proselytize. Attempt to convert someone from one religion, belief, or an opinion. So he goes on his broadcast and he big up FBA. I mean, he talks real greasy about foreigners. You feel me? Somebody said, I messaged you months ago. Scott is an FBI informant and computer hacker. One of his mods deleted it. Well, email me again. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised, black man's testimony. I wouldn't be surprised because I've been around long enough and I watched this thing. Listen, I remember maybe it was 2017 or 18. Sinetta had the Sinetta YouTube Awards, if I'm not mistaken, in New York City. And I pulled up. And Phil was there. Phil looked like a fish out of water. He looked all nervous. And back then, I really wasn't paying close attention, but I would almost bet $1 to a donut that he had somebody trailing him. And what I mean by that, most these people that are compromised, you got to look closely because nearby, it'll be somebody flagging them. Somebody's trailing them. You follow me? Follow what I'm saying? And the whole thing in a nutshell is that his channel is the African Diaspora channel. You follow what I'm saying? I don't know what you're doing, Harlem Moore, but you keep putting the N in there, you're making me nervous. You're going to lose your privileges, Harlem Moore. But his channel is the African Diaspora channel. And these are the things that he talk about and that he's pushing on one side. You follow me? Somebody say, who is this Phil? He runs a channel called Africa Diaspora. But he shame sisters, he shame brothers to not to be in a relationship with sisters. I mean, he go all out. You know what I'm saying? And so on one side, he said, June is Emancipation Month. Let's honor our ancestors with a purpose. It's the African Diaspora News. On June 19, 1865, ancestors was finally freed this month. We celebrate their strength, resilience, and legacy for the entire month of June. First time customers, 19% off annual ADNC, African Diaspora News Channel, celebrating emancipation this June, 19% off annual subscription to our ADNC app with coupon. You know what I mean? But he called himself the African diaspora, but under the same breath, if I will. I can't even get it right. Under the same breath. Here you go.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. I couldn't be with a woman that's that aged too quick. Oh, no. I couldn't do that. See, like, when people see my wife, they don't think she's her age, the age she is right now. They tell her that she's like about 8 to 10 years younger than what they say, what they think her actual age is. And that's good. And then all the people in my wife's family, they age very well. Very, very well. Of course, people might...
They age very well. They age very well. This is Phil. This is him. And got a nerve to talk about tethers? Huh? Got a nerve to talk about tethers? You can't be serious, family. He gonna talk about tethers. All right.
Family age very well also. No, I couldn't be with no woman that age like that. Oh, no. I ain't trying to, no. No, you got to have some color. You got to have some melanin.
See how hypocritical that is? He says, hold up, you got to have some color.
Yeah, see, that's enough. You got to have some melanin. Melanin. You got to have some melanin. You got to have some melanin. You got to have some melanin. Melanin.
Huh? We'll do it again. Listen.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. You got to have some melanin.
My thing is, I don't knock people who get in whatever relationship they choose to get in. Hey, that's your thing. Ain't my thing, and it shouldn't be nobody's business. But when you start to down the people that look like you, and you're not even involved with someone that look like you, or the people in which you descend from, that's a bit off. That's a bit crazy to me. And you deserve to be talked about. You deserve to be talked about. This is newsworthy. This is newsworthy.
Certified boogeyman.
Welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV, family. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up.
Certified boogeyman.
Check 1, 2.
Certified boogeyman.
We're gonna speak the truth,
Huh?
regardless of whether you like that truth or not.
Certified boogeyman.
We're in the 21st century. How people are poor, hungry, ragged, naked, and out of doors.
Certified
How
boogeyman.
people are being murdered on a daily and consistent basis.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. A couple weeks frost that crept through. They put the bean on
Let's
me.
go.
I neglect you. Time's up. Allow me to blast you. They yell reparation and they got your attention. A failed clown rapper claimed he was pimping, but you don't know he was a fed since 9-0. Cosmo Flex was a front for 5-0.
You can't get dropped in a pit of snakes
Certified boogeyman.
and trying to figure out which one
Certified
has the
boogeyman.
venom sac.
Certified
I'm this
boogeyman.
Charles. This one is not
Certified
poison.
boogeyman.
FBA was laughing when he went to the Romans. I guess they don't understand that's who own them. Lying on GS, claiming I stalked them. That ain't true, cause if it was, I'd have chalked them. I'm simply a blogger, researching for the family. Cause people look like me, continue to scam me. Continue to scam us in the name of liberation. But when I call them out, they claim that I'm hating. Who
Certified
says
boogeyman.
I smacked somebody?
Certified
Poke your
boogeyman.
chest out, then slide
Certified
thousands
boogeyman.
of miles. Check it out. For a
Certified
peace order.
boogeyman.
For a peace order. I'm back
Certified
like I left
boogeyman.
something.
Come on, family. Thumbs up now.
Romans on me, but they ain't really stopping.
Let's
How
go.
you say you slap a man and go get a peace order? Something ain't adding up. Now I'm in the deep waters. I done took a deep dive. See who you really
Hey.
are. Who named you Tariq G affiliated with the guns? Nah, you ain't a Sunni or the nation, but ain't nobody question why you perpetrating.
Huh?
Early in the 90s, they put you on a mission.
I wanna make sure I can see everything. Hold tight.
Different. Goofy clown rap.
We
take
about
it
to
off
get
the
hot.
rap. But you was so back, nobody followed the act. So So they made another character, turned you to a thug. From Cosmo to K-Fact, but still got no love. Album went wood, it was trash, no good. You was hip-hop police, snitching on the hood. How you make a documentary about hip-hop and not include yourself in all your albums that flop? Yeah, you got some dark secrets, I'm here to expose them. And I don't plan to stop until everybody knows them. You already know, family.
He's back!
You already know. Yeah. Family, come on. Hey, family. But yeah, before we get started, family, I want to say, family, keep I said keep cooning. They can keep cooning. Keep tuning in to Moorish World TV, family. We are going to be breaking down new research about real tethers, exposing the real tether. Family, if you are from the African diaspora for real, I'm only using tether as a term that was used by those who are tethers, okay? And I'm not referring to you as a tether. You are my brother, you are my sister, and we are in this struggle together. But we'll use the term tether, we'll flip it and show who's the real tether is in an upcoming show. I think it's going to be this weekend. Moochie is still uncovering new information. It's groundbreaking information. It's going to knock you out of your seat. So it may be this Saturday. Stay tuned. We got all new things coming. Yeah, we got everything new coming without the hair piece. There will be no hair piece. There will be no acting. There will be no playing around on this demonstration here. All right? There will be no playing around. We'll be taking off the man unit. We'll be taking off the man unit. Stop, Grass Sheep. Won't you stop, Blast? You need to grow up. That's what you need to do. So someone said, when you are going to protest, because we be out there, it's not, because we won't be out there, because we won't be there, it's not our problem. So let me get into this. He said, when I will be protest. Family, let me be clear. When I say FBAs are cowards, what I'm saying is this. Hey, who said that? Who said that? Full black. When I say FBAs are cowards, I want you to hear me good, and I'm going to ask you to press 7 if you understand. I'm not saying that they're cowards because they're not helping. I'm not saying that they're cowards because they're not helping Mexicans. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they're cowards because they're not out there counter-protesting. In other words, FBA waved the American flag faithfully. It's a part of their trademark. You feel what I'm saying? They wave it faithfully. They love America. You know what I'm saying? And many of us love America, but not like FBA. FBA love America so much that they even got on the bandwagon to talk about people that look like them, that may be from another country or may was dropped off at another location during the time of slavery. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So when I say that FBAs are cowards, what I'm saying is that they talk all this stuff on the internet about tethers, but they call themselves grassroots. They call themselves grassroots. You see what I'm saying? They don't need to put themselves in harm's way. Duh, that's called a coward. But they talk slick on the internet. They talk slick. They call themselves grassroots. If they're grassroots, and if they believe in what they say they believe in, why is the grass growing out the keyboard? That's all I'm saying. Don't tell me the punk stuff that they don't need to put themselves in harm's way. Well, why are they running their mouths on the internet? If they truly believe that one of their talking points, my ancestors built this country, well, guess what? The same people that you call tethers are tearing it up. Why are you on the internet? My ancestors built this country. I mean, anything that you're saying is not making a big splash. However, black people are coming together because we are delineating and it's working. It's not working. You're not doing anything. You're coming together in a Twitter space. That's all you're coming together. You're coming together in a Twitter space. That's it. Now back to my point. Why didn't you come together and talk the talk out there in Chicago? They are in New York. They are in Arizona. You feel what I'm saying? Go out there and talk the talk. Listen, if you say my ancestors built this country, why aren't you out there making sure that it stay intact? And then somebody say you're not making any sense. You're not making any sense. Okay, let me make it clear for you. You got two choices. The guy that say I'm not making any sense. You got two choices. You got two choices. You can root for, support the system that won't give you reparations, that have enslaved you, that have enslaved the world, and continue to perpetuate slavery in various forms. Or you can root those people on. Come on, get them out the country. Come on, get them out the country. See, this is the problem that I have with you FBA people. This is the problem that I have with you FBA people. You're rooting for the same one that won't give you reparations, you goofball. You're rooting for the one that hung your ancestors. You're rooting for the ones that shipped you, beat you, brutalized you. You're rooting for the one that shoot down. Huh? You're rooting for the same one that shoot down little boys in the street. You're rooting for the same ones. You're actually cheerleading for the same one that kill, quote unquote, black women, that kill black men, that pile black men up, quote unquote, in prisons. The institutional prison complex is piled up by you from the same system that you're cheerleading for. Use goofy. Won't you just sit back and chill out? Won't you just sit back and chill out? You're cheerleading for the same system that making sure that you don't be empowered and govern yourself. You are. You're cheerleading. So that's what I mean by coward. What coward sits around and cheerlead the same people that cut off the private parts of their ancestors? What people cheerleads that? Let me tell you what somebody say, why you are so upset? Will, I'm not upset. I'm making a point. Because I don't choose sides. But if I was to choose sides, you can bet your bottom dollar I wouldn't choose the side where my grandmother and my great-grandmother and my grandfather and my great-grandfather suffered at the hands of. I wouldn't. That's just me. If I was to choose sides, I just could not choose the side of the system. I just couldn't do it. I haven't taken nothing out of proper context. Taste and tease, you just haven't heard the flip side of an argument. You understand what I'm saying? You just have not heard the flip side of the argument because you a coward. You rather sit on the internet under fake names and run your mouth about brothers and sisters who suffer the same oppression that we suffer. You rather sit on the internet and talk about Mexicans. They never helped us. You don't know history. Let me show you something. You don't know history. You don't know history. Let me show you something. During the Rodney King protests, guess what? Guess what? During most protests, let me show you something. Let me show you something. This is one picture during the Rodney King protests. This is one picture. During the Rodney King protests, especially in California, and I use the term Mexican loosely, but no, they had partnered up. They was upset too. They was upset too. And I'm not saying that you go out there and do anything, but just keep your mouth shut because you sound goofy. They never helped us. They want to stop us for reparations. No, they not. Reparations is a legal thing. Reparations is a political thing. Somebody throwing watermelons on a truck, cutting grass, does not stop your reparations. You need to stop it. But when you start talking that goofiness, that they never helped us out, they talk bad to us. Listen, we can go on the internet all day and find people talking about each other and project it to be systematically on that person just attacking one group of people. This happens all over the internet. So when someone posts a post, man, listen, I'm too focused on trying to build something for us. I'm too focused on trying to build something for us instead of focusing on what somebody else has done. Listen, you talk about how the Mexicans have, they call us out of our name. You have a system that destroyed generations of people. They dropped crack in the middle of LA. They dropped crack in the middle of LA during the crack era. This is the same system that you now cheerleading for. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is the same system. Anyway, say free the land. American Africans need our own nation. That's what I'm talking about, Logical Black. I agree with you, Logical Black. I agree with you. But my thing is with FBA, with FBA, they sit around and talk about these Mexicans, but at least the Mexicans have enough dignity to stand up for what they believe in. Whether you believe in it or not, at least they have enough dignity to stand up for what they believe in. And all of them are not immigrants illegally. So they got a real code. They got a real code. And you should learn something from them. They not on the internet talking about what they going to do. They got a real code. You ain't got to jump out there. You ain't got to do nothing but to run your mouth. And you ain't did nothing but cheerlead the system. Come on, man. Come on, man. You should fall back and go try to build a community. You should fall back and go try to build a community. Because what you're doing is gaslighting. What you're doing is gaslighting the propaganda train. That's it. Should fall back. And so I'm giving you the other side of the argument. No, the thing is, I'm not telling anybody to go out there. Grinny, I'm not telling anybody to go out there. I don't think that we should be involving ourselves in such a way that that would be detrimental to us or our families. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, and I'll calm it down, what I am saying is when you have a group of people on the internet for the past 4 years telling people to go back to their country, people that look like me and you, telling people to go back to their country, telling people that they're stealing and stopping them from getting reparations, saying that you don't belong here, go fix your own country. That's one thing. And many other things that they do, right? In conjunction to doing all this and saying all this for 4 years, they also claim to be grassroots. All right? So now here is the connection. If you're saying all of these things and you say that you're grassroots, why are you still on the internet? At bare minimum, you could have a counter protest. If you say you're grassroots, you should be on the grass. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying, family. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying, please. I'm not saying, the thing is, I'm not saying something that you haven't said. You said that you're grassroots. That's what you said. You claim that you want to protect this country and the integrity that your ancestors built. You said you built the country. And you say you're grassroots. But you're still on the internet. It doesn't make sense. I'm holding you to the standard in which you established. I'm not making the standard. You established the standard, not me. And you're saying that I don't make sense? No, you said you're grassroots. Let's go with number 2. Vicky Dillard, Professor Black Truth, Tariq Nasheed, and a few other peoples, they claim that they are the new black media. Why none of them is in LA getting the news? They claim to be the new, see, I'm not making up a standard. They claim to be the new black media. However, there's plenty news to be gotten. And guess what? They're at their keyboard. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying much more than that. You're the new black media. You're the grassroots. What else do you call yourself? What else? You call yourself these things. I don't call you these things. You call yourself these things. And if you are these things, why in the world are you sitting on the internet? You said you're the black media. You said you're the grassroots. You said that you got all of this money from the grassroots. That's what you said. To crowdfund, we couldn't have did it without the grassroots. See, these people are put in place to talk the talk that they talk, to get people fired up while they stay at their keyboard. This is what these people are designed to do. And the people, even if people truly are in love with the concept, maybe you should drop the concept because the people that created it are not genuine. In other words, you could be in love with the FBA concept. You could believe with every fiber in your being that the Mexicans and the Haitians and the Puerto Ricans and everybody else is taking your place that you fought for or built here in America. But those that's pushing that on the internet, calling themselves the grassroots, never hit the ground. Somebody said, what are you designed to do? I'm designed to get people starting to think again and not feed into propaganda. If you want to build a nation, grab a hammer, grab a nail, and a group of like-minded people and build a nation. If you want to gaslight, then call people tethers, talk about hairlines, and say how many people got to go back to their homeland every other day. While every other group of people are actually building something for themselves, by themselves, to sustain themselves. In this country and in every piece of land on the planet. We're the only group of people that have a group of people that call out names at 50 going on 60. We're the only group of people that will get on the internet and make news out of something that is not even news, it's just propaganda. We the only people. Somebody say, what are you building? I don't need to tell you what I'm building. Anybody that know me know what I'm building. I ain't got to tell you that. But everything that I'm talking, I'm about. Everything that I'm talking, I am about it. Everything. With a shoestring budget, I am about it. Everything that I'm talking, I am doing, set to do it, planning to do it, executing it off this camera. Everything. Everything. And anybody that know me, know I'm telling the truth. Every single thing. So if you're talking about nation building, I'm working with it. Working towards it. If you're talking about schooling your own children, that's what we do. If you're talking about growing your own food, that's what we do. Whatever you hear me talk about, I can stand on it. I can stand on it. And if you don't believe me, I know Nettercat, you have been around, you have been around liars so much that when one talks about something outside of what you're used to, you call it cap. But I tell you right now, go to Facebook, to Hawker Bay, to Hawker Abuke Bay, and most of the things that I do is right there. Not all of it, but enough to show you that this ain't cap. But I'm going to leave you alone right now. I'm going to leave you around. I'm going to leave you alone right now. Go on Facebook and you can see everything that I do. Just go through my whole page. That's all you got to do. You go through my whole page. But I don't post a lot of the things that I do that we all should be doing because people like you would try to compromise it. You would try to compromise it because you think it's not possible. You think it's not possible to grow your food and eat your own food from the ground. You think it's not possible to drill your own well and drink your own water. You think it's impossible. You think it's impossible. Well, it's not impossible. Rolling 60 Crips shut down riots before it started yesterday, and day before, not one car damaged, not one fire lit. See, that's people that rock with their community. There you go. There you go. I love this comment. I love this comment right here. Let me show you something. I love this comment. Because I'm not suggesting that anybody go out there and get in harm's way. I'm saying that the rhetoric on the internet is just is somebody got to say something, and I'm gonna be the one to say it. Numbers everywhere. 60 said rolling 60 Crips shut down riots before it started yesterday or day before. Not one car damaged, not one fire lit. You feel me? You feel me? Now that's the grassroots. That's the grassroots. Don't sit up here telling me what you're gonna do on the internet. Don't sit up there and call grown people names on the internet. Oh, they're tethers. They need to go back and fix their own country. Okay, now yours is being damaged. What you gonna do? Grassroots. You follow me? I want to share something else with everybody if you with me. Listen, family. Why people watch Moorish World TV? Because we go against the grain over here. We do not say the norm. And we do not. And people will call it gaslighting. But in fact, what it is we think outside of the box. We don't think inside of the box. We don't think that you have the right to go on the internet and call people tethers for 4 years, call yourself the grassroots, and then when something kick off, you sitting there up on the internet. Nah, you don't get to do that. We get to call you out on that. We get to call you out on that. You don't get to say that you're the new black media for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and then when something is in your backyard, you say, I'm in New York. You don't get to do that. Now, that is newsworthy, and we get to talk about it. Now, the difference between me and you, I never call people tethers. Not me. I never disrespect Europeans, Mexicans, Haitians, or anybody of any other ethnic origin. I don't disrespect other people. Because guess what? At the end of the day, I know without a doubt or contradiction that whether it's a Mexican, whether it's a Haitian, whether it's whatever you call yourself in America, more African American or whatever, I know that the same system that targets them targets you. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm not cheering that on. I mean, listen, this is even crazy that I have to explain this to somebody. That the system that targets us is the same system. The issue is different. The issue may be immigration. And with us, it may be a power play. Get your children hooked on drugs at an early age. Promote stupid rap music to influence your children so they don't grow up to be scientists, so they don't grow up to be presidents, so they don't grow up to aspire to be biologists, to build their own Elon Musk type company. So we get them early. Make sure you set them up for prison early. Make sure the environment is just right. Is just right. That 8 out of 10 will not make it. And 10 out of 10 will not be inspired. Will not be inspired at a young age. So, Moorish World TV thinks outside the box. We don't think in that little box. We don't think in that little box. You feel what I'm saying? We don't think in that little box. That it's okay just to, somebody, Nantucket says, sounds like you should be a leader. Nantucket, go on my page and you know who I am. Moorish Tahaka Abuke Bay Facebook. Go on my page. That's all you got to do. They don't call me GS for nothing, but back to my point. So this is newsworthy. This is critical analyzing worthy. Because I want people, listen to what I'm saying. I want people to start to think. I want people to say, all of this time that we're spending talking about a Haitian brother, all this time that we spend talking about a Mexican, that time could be constructively used for something else. And Nattercat, I'm about to block him right now. He said, sounds like you should be a leader. Lead instead of talking on the internet. See, these are the people that are cowards to say that they're leaders. You know what I mean? FBA ain't got no leader. I am a leader. Absolutely, I'm a leader. Absolutely, I'm a leader. But I'm not a reckless leader. I'm not a goofy leader. I don't send people into fires. So I hope you have a good trip. I'm just sending you out of here now. I don't send people into fires. I don't send people into harm's way. I send people to build practically. That's what I do. Build practically. I've got no time to worry. If you say it ain't my business, I ain't got no time to worry about nobody else's house. I'm too busy trying to build mine. I got no time. But I'm not going to cheerlead the same system. Fam, you understand what I'm saying? I'm too busy trying to build our house. I got no time to worry. I get that part. But I'm not going to cheerlead. For God's sakes, I'm not going to cheerlead. I'll sit back and enjoy the show before I cheerlead. I'm not cheerleading nothing. Anyway, I want to break down a little something for y'all tonight, family, where, can you put the link? Can you put the link to your Facebook, bro? Yeah, I got you in a minute. Hold up. Listen. I want to break down something to y'all.
At all?
Right now.
None of that's stupid. So let me get this straight. Just so I could clarify it. You don't want to go back to Mexico. You're protesting to stay away from Mexico. But you're waving the Mexican flag and you're waving it with pride. You're waving it in the United States. The country you're trying to stay in. The country you don't want to leave.
All right, listen. This is a compromised Mexican right here. Watch this. This is a compromised Mexican. I'm going to show you something in a second.
But yet you're waving the Mexican flag with pride. Okay. That seems normal to you? That seems logical? That's not stupid at all? None of that's stupid. All right. You guys are an embarrassment to the Mexican culture and to the United States culture. You guys are an embarrassment to everybody around you, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Do better.
Now, this is called a sellout Mexican. This is why he's a sellout. Because California, I want y'all to hear me, California, for all intents and purposes, was a part of Mexico. You understand what I'm saying? California was a part of Mexico until the United States took it. Anybody knew that? Somebody press, let me see if I can look it up real quick. Let me see what the date was. Let me see. I'm going to do this freestyle. All right. There you go. California was a part of Mexico from 1821 to 1848. In 1821, Mexico gained independence from Spain, and California, then known as Alta California, became a part of the new nation. This period ended in 1848 with the Treaty of Guadalupe, which ceded California to the United States. So if you got somebody waving a flag in California, maybe they're saying that they're the real FBAs, that they were living there thousands of years before a boat came. Possibly. So for someone to wave a Mexican flag on California soil, it's not strange. It's not strange. Why would that be strange that a Mexican wave a flag on California soil when California was originally a part of Mexico before the United States got it? I seen my brother Doggy Diamonds make that same argument. I was like, what? What? Somebody said, didn't Mexico have it for about, Starlight said, didn't Mexico have it for 15 years? They took it from someone, we took it from them, something like that. No, before the taking started happening, before the Europeans came, that was all of their land. You're talking about that little splice of time right there, Starlight, but before the Europeans came, that was all of Mexico land. That was Olmec territory. Texas and all of that. That was Olmec territory. So the whole thing that I'm saying is, it's not strange that they would be having flags of Mexico right there. It's not strange. It's not strange. So that doesn't look strange. You know what's funny to me? What's funny to me is that people don't learn. It's a brother that posted a post on Facebook, right? And I really respect this brother, and I respect the post. And I'm going to share it with y'all in a minute. Here you go right here. Think about this. Shout out to Rakeem Shabazz. He said, this thought was sparked by Tafasawa Sharaka Badanda. I may have twisted it up a little bit, but I love you, family. So many people have been triggered by LA protesters waving Mexican flags. All the while, the U.S. has approximately 750 military bases in at least 80 countries and territories worldwide, waving that imperialist symbol. The latter is the reason immigrants come over here, Western imperialism, extract the resources of global South and exploit its labor and kill the leaders of governments who oppose this arrangement. Now let's stop right there. The United States go into other countries, plant their flag, and extract the resources. Why would it be any different from a Mexican, a Haitian, or anybody else that is from a part of the earth that they cannot produce that which could sustain them to come here and plant their flag? Why wouldn't they? It only makes sense. Listen. Europeans, for example, Look at this, family. I mean, people, this is going to trigger people because most people are not thinking logically. They think that somebody is taking something from them, but they're not looking at the world as the world really is. That's the problem. They don't look at the world as the world really is. This is the world the way it really is. Give me 1 second. Let me do this window capture real quick. Let me do this window capture. This is the world as it really is, not the world that people be making up. All right, this is the world as it really is. The United States has 276 diplomatic posts, including embassy and consulates, located around the world. These posts are spread across 174 countries, with the U.S. also maintaining permanent missions at international organizations and other specialized offices. Why couldn't another people from another country do the same thing in the United States? Why? Somebody say, common people don't do that in other nations, bro. We're not talking about common people. We're talking about people that think outside the box. We're talking about people that's trying to survive. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about common, docile, weak people who have been tricked by the system to think that you got to shut up and get patted on the head and eat something that fall off a table. We're not talking about that type of people. We're not talking about that type of people. Those are weak people. But people who wanted something better for themselves, guess what? In the hood, when people want something better and they psychologically affected in an adverse way, they start robbing, they start stealing, they start selling drugs, they start doing things that become a detriment to themselves. In the same sense, it's the same principle. When a person or a group of people are in a part of a land that is not producing that which they think should be produced for them, they would migrate to somewhere else that produces something that they need. Whether it's criminal or whether it's legal, that's the way of the world. The European, as you know him today, is standing on the shoulders of oppressed people. It's standing on the shoulders of oppressed people. The United States would not exist without them coming here and planting their flag. It would not exist. And not only planting their flag, devising a scheme, throwing blankets on natives, and giving them diseases. Understanding the power of gunpowder against a bow and arrow. See, you cannot talk about any group of people, Puerto Rican, Mexicans, Haitians, Africans, anybody that come to America and want a piece of the pie. It's all stolen anyway. It's all stolen anyway. What are you talking about? It's all stolen anyway. Now you wanna try to bring some integrity to the thief? That's my problem. And I'm not defending Mexicans. I'm just trying to bring some logic to this. You want to try to defend the thief from a person that want another piece of the booty? Come on, man.
This is a sick Negro.
Family, are y'all with me today, family? This is heavy. This is heavy. I'm going to tell you my position. My position is that we as a people going to have to build something for ourselves and stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Because what everybody else is doing, they doing what they think is right for themselves. If you say it ain't your business, then stop talking about it. If you say it ain't your business, that what the Mexicans doing ain't your business, then be quiet. There's no need to call people tethers. There's no need to say go back to your country. There's no need. Somebody said, what does it have to do with these people that don't like is and here to undermine us? There is nobody undermining you, Waheed Muhammad. You are undermining yourself. You are undermining yourself. Your name is Waheed Muhammad. You have undermined yourself. You have undermined yourself, Waheed. Your name is Waheed Muhammad. You have undermined it yourself. That's it. You're undermining yourself. Nobody undermining you. Nobody undermining you. You probably go work with every European and Wahid. Hey, that's Wahid. He's a good Muslim. Yeah, I like some Muslims. I really like Wahid, but the rest of them, I can't stand the towheads. You probably been up there shucking and jiving. You probably shucking and jiving at your job, trying to play along to get along. What about them trying to undermine us? How they undermining you? Because they rather go pick up a lawnmower and cut some grass and make a couple dollars? Because they rather throw some watermelons? Mexicans don't have to abide by the laws, just us, okay? No, everybody got to abide by the laws. They willing to take the risk. Now, They willing to take the risk. Everybody got to abide by the laws, King Thot. What a name is King Thot. You're breaking moral laws with an even name like King Thot. I shouldn't even be talking to you. Like, why should I be talking to someone with a tag name King Thot? Why? King Thot? Why should I even be talking to you? I shouldn't even talk to somebody named King Thot. Mexicans don't have to abide by laws. Everybody got to abide by laws. Mexicans, some of them, not all of them, some of them are willing to take the risk. Just like many of us in the streets. At some point in time, we was willfully taking a risk. Don't say nobody have to abide by laws. Everybody got to abide by laws. That doesn't even make any sense. Not to nitpick, but Spain took California from the Indians. You're calling Indians, but what you're calling Indians is actually the original indigenous people. The people of Mexico, Starlight. The people of Mexico were not called Mexicans at the time when the Europeans came. The same people that they call Indians was the same bloodline that the people call Mexicans. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. Let's stop. It's the same people. You can't separate the land because Europeans drew a demarcation line, and now you say, well, the people on this side of the line is not the same as this people on the side of the line. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. No, the people that was on this side of the line that you call Indians and the people on that side of the line that you call Mexicans, they are the same people. The same exact people. Like, what we doing? What we doing? In fact, ain't no Indians in America. To keep it a stack, they took it from the Indians. Ain't no such thing as Indians in America. That's a fake construct. Ain't no Indians in America. What we doing? What we doing? Come on, Starlight. Show me some Indians in America. That's a fake construct. I'm a king. You King Thoth? Well, you better learn how to spell. I'm King Thoth. Thot for kicks. Okay, you just got kicked. You just got kicked. But anyway, the point that I'm making is that the United States plants its flag where it extracts resources. So if a Mexican plants their flag, whether they are a part of that land of history or their ancestors and a part of history was a part of the line, or whether they come to plant it to extract resources, the United States do it all the time. The United States do it all the time in the past. Now the United States have some moral compass. And now you have validate a moral compass for an invader. Y'all never convinced me against what I've seen over 40 years. If he deported all of them, I wouldn't give a damn to no purpose. It wouldn't make me no difference either. But guess what? Your oppression will carry on much easier. Wahid, your oppression carry on much easier. Let me show you an example. Let's look at this in the sense of gangs in prison, right? Let's look at us as gangs. And somebody say, why are we not Indians? Because no person here called themselves Indians before the coming of the European. That's why. Now, let me say this. Let's look at gangs in prison. This is just an analogy. In prisons in America, there is probably no Starlight. I'm saying they're the same people. They're the same bloodline. But in American prisons, right, there is probably a ratio of 10 officers per 100 inmates, right? So in most prisons, right, you have all of these gangs that are clicked up together. And then when something go wild, you got BGF might bump heads with the Crips. You have the Crips might bump heads with the Serranos. You have the Serranos, they might bump heads with the Bloods. Now, when you have this happening, it makes the environment that is a hostile environment to begin with easier to control. Because now all you gotta wait to do is break up what they're doing against each other. But the moment that the gangs decide, hold up, we've made this easy, and they all come together, that creates a dangerous situation for the gatekeeper. So my point is that majority of melanated people on the planet Earth has been oppressed by this system, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in Africa, whether it's in Haiti, whether it's in America. We have been oppressed by a system. Australia, it doesn't matter. We have been oppressed by a system, not necessarily a person, but a system that has been implemented by people. And a part of the system is to keep you looking at the wrong person, to keep you focused on the wrong person and accusing them of the enemy. When in fact, the way that an oppressed Mexican come at a melanated person is a direct result of mental slavery. When a Mexican walk around with a Hail Mary on his neck or on her neck, or Mother Mary and rosary beads, that shows you that that person ain't in their right senses. You walking around acting like you're defending a system that have perpetuated violence, slavery, and everything, every atrocity on the planet, and you defending that, you're not in your right senses. You're not in your right senses. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is, won't you take away and go build something? Won't you buy some apartment buildings and create a community and an environment where children can play? But nah, y'all like social media madness. And so guess what? I'm going to give some commentary to it. I'm going to show that people don't know what they're talking about. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show that people don't know what they're talking about. I'm going to show that this guy that runs around and talks about FBA all the time, this is the type of people that Wahid defends. This is the type of people Wahid defends. Well, you can marry who you want. I agree. I agree. You can marry who you want. But you don't get to talk down to the people that look like you. You don't get to do that. You don't get to demonize the women that is of the phenotype of your mother. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. And so, when you do that, you make commentary for Moorish World TV. You make commentary for Moorish World TV. That's what you do. You make commentary for Moorish World TV because now we got to call you on it. You know what I mean? So the original people, the prison here in California, when the Southern Mexicans get into it with the Bloods and the Crips, it's up to all of us against them, and the whites help them, and vice versa in the prison here in California. And I'm not arguing that point, the original people. I'm not arguing that point. The point that I'm saying is, as long as we project on the wrong enemy, then the system can go on. Then the system can go on. The system can go on. We need to look inward and begin to build infrastructure socially, mentally, emotionally, and physically for us as a people. We too busy worried about other groups of people. We stuck in the matrix. This is what I mean. When someone say, it ain't none of my business, okay, it ain't none of your business. But please don't cheerlead. Because now you have made it your business. Now you have made it your business. When you begin to cheerlead an oppressive regime, now you made it your business. You know what I mean? Now you made it your business. You begin to say, send them all back. Send them all back. Do you remember when they was telling you to go back to Africa? Mind your business. If it ain't your business, mind your business. Because see, what happens is you put energy into the universe. And when you put energy into the universe, you begin to compromise things that may go a certain direction and could be in your benefit down the road if you only knew the cosmic play. If you only knew the cosmic play. So just fall back. But nah. Immigrant anti-black get lazy, immigrant out. Immigrant anti-black get lazy, immigrant out. I don't know what that means. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what they do. So, but some of these accounts are bots. I mean, foundational African American. Some of these people are bots. And so, family, yeah, you don't get to do that. Secondly, the same guy, Phil, can someone tell Phil Scott and his crew to change their channel name from African Diaspora to FBA ADOS News Network, where you look at videos Phil Scott has made over the past few weeks? It's so obvious he's no longer a Pan-Africanist. He's an opportunist. This guy, Phil, even had African sisters as news correspondents on his channel. He make it look quote unquote black. He make it look black. But when he go home, it's another story. It's the hypocrisy. It's not about who you with. It's the hypocrisy. Stargate. I told everybody a long time ago that he was controlled opposition. He was paid by Tariq them to do what he did. He was paid. Brandon was always paid by them. I've been said that. You know what I mean? This is what Phil Scott is all about. I'm going to do a whole show about Phil Scott soon. I'm going to do a whole show about him soon. This is what he's all about, though. This is what he told
said
people
up front some things. Now I look back at it because I do take responsibility for how some of the things have spent out of control. Should I have said up front some things? Now I look back at it, even though I say my privacy, I could have said a few things different. Sure. I could have answered some questions that I felt at the time I shouldn't be answering. Yeah. Because didn't know that people get so heavily invested in my personal life. That's new for me. I'm not gonna lie, that's new for me.
How is it that he said people get heavy into his personal life when he's on the internet reporting about people's personal lives and personal situations? Listen.
When I started doing YouTube videos, nobody cared about my personal life. Nobody. And O'Shea Duke Jackson and even Minister Jab said the same thing. Both of them. If Phil only had 200 subscribers, none of y'all would be talking about it. Y'all don't care less about it. But all of a sudden, now you care about it. I mean, but it comes with the territory. I get that.
No, you down your own people. That's why it's an issue. It's not because of your subscribers. It's because you are a hypocrite. That's why. Listen, some of the people that claim to be Pan-Africanists when it was in vogue or something that was popular, they were infiltrators to the fifth power. They were never Pan-Africanists. Do you believe that Pan-African Strike Back is a real Pan-Africanist? He's not a Pan-Africanist. Nothing about him says Pan-Africanist. I don't care if he traveled to Africa a million times. Nothing about this guy says Pan-Africanist. Nothing. And anybody that knows a Pan-Africanist can really sort that out real fast. Like he's not a Pan-Africanist. I'm just saying. He's not a Pan-Africanist. And neither was Phil a Pan-Africanist. None of these people none of these people are who they say they are. And this is how you know. They change every time an opportunity comes for them to change. Phil, in the beginning when he came to YouTube, he came off as a Hebrew Israelite. You follow me? He came off as a Hebrew Israelite. Somebody say he on no jumper telling prison stories. Yeah, he been in prison all his life now. Here we go. And then he moved to the Pan-African space, even got a Sinetta TV award. And now, when he get caught to be a hypocrite, he starts explaining. Listen to him explain. Let him explain.
Now, there was this tweet. Let's talk about this tweet. That this same person that put out the picture of my wife went and found a tweet from last year. And the woman I was talking to, I've been knowing her just for maybe a couple of years. She lives out in the UK. And she had asked me a question about my wife. Now, I should have broke that down a long time ago, too. Are you coming here to watch news and social commentary? Or you come here to find out about my personal life?
No, it's not news commentary. It's not news commentary when you say that black women, quote unquote, black women are angry, that black women, they age fast, that black women got nasty attitudes, that like you met every sister on the planet? Nah, bro, you ain't meet every sister on the planet. You know what I mean? Yeah, and one thing about sisters, I give you that. Yeah, they're feisty, but guess what? They're feisty, many of them, because they got principle. And those that are feisty without principle, it's because they have been misguided, and now that feistiness is just recklessness. You follow me? It's just recklessness. But the origin of that strong-willed, it's the same strong will that you call reckless. It's the same strong will that got our people to slavery. It's the same strong will that you call they fight too much. That's why, listen, when my wife get turned up, I just walk out the door. I know that come with that melanin. I know it come with the melanin. You know what I mean? Hey family, listen to me. Our women, they are turned because they had to be. Way before slavery, they had to be. During slavery, it had to be turned up. It had to be. And so, when my wife get a little bit turned, I walk out the door. I might yell a little bit. I say my piece. Then I say, that's it for me. I'm going out the door. But it's people like this guy that says, oh, black women got an attitude. Black women got an attitude. Bro, you painting everybody with a wide brush. Come on, man. And then go home. And then go home. And then you say that she's a Native American. Then you say she's a Native American. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let me tell you something. I remember growing up, right? I remember growing up, and one of my friends, her name was Sally. European to the bone. European to the bone. Her name was Sally. And we were cool. Nothing out the way. You know what I'm saying? Never did anything, never even thought about it. You know what I mean? We had met paths because she had got in trouble, I got in trouble, and we had to do some community service or something. And we just got cool, you know what I'm saying? But not one time did I ever say, well, maybe me and Sally. And the reason why is because I respected that lifestyle that she lived in, and I respected the lifestyle that I lived in, and I didn't see that they could blend, and it never even really crossed my mind. In reality, it never even crossed my mind. And to see someone that would talk the way he talk about women, and then literally go home to what he says a Native American. Family, you know good and well ain't nothing Native or American about that. Come on, man. So now he's ashamed of his own wife. Because if this guy claimed that he was a Pan-Africanist one time, if this guy claimed he was a Pan-Africanist one time, he understand what phenotype is. He understand what the real Native American look like. He know better. He faking people out. He know better. He know that in the circles in which he claimed to be a part of, FBA or Pan-Africanist or Hebrew, now the Hebrew people, they might accept that she is of the tribe of Dan or something, you know. I mean, they say, no, that she of the tribe, she Puerto Rican, she of the tribe of Dan or something like that. They might do that. I seen them play them games like that. But Pan-Africanist, nah. So you was never a Pan-Africanist. Nah. My thing is, man, listen, I say love who you want, be whatever you want to be with, but at the end of the day, bro, you don't get to talk about a group of people who is at the butt of every joke, who is at the receiving end of any and every oppression that is thrown at us. You don't get to do that without a conversation happening. You don't get to do that. I mean, let me show you what he's about. This is what he said he's about. If you can hear it, listen to this.
Trump is great for what we do for a living. Oh my God, he's great. I tell y'all what, get ready. Trump coming in office, oh, the news cycle gonna be popping. It's gonna be popping. The whole 4 years, man. And I can't wait. Cause the last time Trump was in office, the news cycle was popping every week. Trump always did something, said something. Listen, people like me, Trump is great. Trump is great for what we do for a living. Oh my God, he's great.
If you can't hear it, it's kind of low. He said he can't wait for Trump to get into office. He said Trump is great because Trump, what he does for somebody like him in the news business, is going to make him a lot of money. And so that's the same reason that he jumps on the FBA bandwagon. Somebody is cutting the check. Let me tell you something. FBA is an operation. And when you start hearing FBA in movies, or you start hearing, GS, I bet you if Sally looked like Charlie Storer, nah, man. Sally was cool, man. Sally was good peoples, man. But what I was going to say is that you didn't mess my thought up, Stargate. What I'm going to say is that FBA actually pays people. So, and I'm saying not necessarily FBA as it relates to Tariq Nasheed. I'm just saying whoever is in control of the operation, like when it was mentioned FBA in that movie, someone got paid to have that into the script. They had to write that into the script. The writer got paid to write that in the script. You know what I'm saying? They got paid to write it in the script. When you look at podcasters, all of a sudden out of the clear blue start talking about FBA and they don't even know what it is. If you have a conversation with them, they have no idea what it is. Most likely somebody is greasing their palms to push that. You know what I mean? And I'm starting to see it in the Diddy trial. Moochie sent me a video about one of the podcasters that I watch, and he mentioned FBA, and I was like, bro, you don't even sound right saying FBA. You don't even sound right. But it appears to me that especially during the Diddy trial, the opportunists are coming out with their propaganda, and they'll pay podcasters to push agendas, even just to mention the names. You gotta understand, like, you gotta keep it in the algorithms. And you keep it in the algorithm, then you can keep the confusion going. And then our people, we don't get into a place where we can go into a huddle and build something for ourselves, because we continue to chase the confusion that really gets us nowhere. And this is what I'm telling FBA. If you stop being a coward, stop being a coward and jump out the window and do what you got to do. Because remember, everywhere the FBA go, they got the American flag with them. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I fly it too. I love the liberty. I love the liberty that comes with America. Make no mistake about it. And I ain't going to front with you. I love it. There's no other place that I'd rather be. But I also understand why everybody else want to be here. The same reason I want to be here. Now, I wish that I had a group of people who could step outside the box and build something for ourselves and live as comfortable as the Amish do in their own little oasis, but we don't have that as a people right now. So guess what? I got to take the opportunity that's provided and afforded to me in this country, and I got to enjoy it to the best of my ability. And this is the greatest country on the planet, even with all of its hang-ups and all of its hiccups. And I'm not going to strike out somebody else that wants a piece of the pie too. Now, I'm not going to strike out to. Why should I strike out to somebody that wanted a piece of the pie? Give me my pie. Man, it's enough pie for everybody. This is a big earth. Listen, at the end of the day, if anybody ever rode or flew across this country before, it is so much land out here in America that's untapped, that if you really wanted to do something as a group of people, you can go into the middle of Arizona and find something, a piece of land, and you can build your own oasis if you really wanted something. You know what I mean? If you really wanted to do something. Family, do you realize that Las Vegas was carved out the desert by gangsters? Press 7 if anybody know that. Las Vegas was carved out of the desert by gangsters. And it brings much revenue in. So if you got gangsters that can carve out a piece of land in the middle of the desert, what's stopping us from carving out a piece of land and doing something for us? So I don't buy that thing. I don't buy that idea that someone is taking from us. I don't buy that idea. That's a made-up illusion. That's a made-up illusion that someone is taking something from us. The only one that's taking up something from us is us with our ability not being intact. Because we could do the same thing. We could do the same thing. But nah, you want a storefront museum for you want a storefront museum for 1.8 million and think you did something. Nah, you just want to talk about tethers on the internet. Nah, you just want to talk about Mexicans who want the same piece of pie that you eating from. Well, guess what? It's a big pie. It's a big pie. And if anybody traveled around this country on plane or an automobile, if you look on some of these roads, I-70, and you look to the vast beyond, there's enough land that anybody can build their own oasis if they wanted to. Their own oasis. So we got to stop the blame game. That's the purpose of a Moorish World TV. Stop the blame game. It ain't the white man. It ain't the Mexican. It ain't the Haitians. Stop the blame game. Listen, just because they talk that they talk, make no mistake about it, they are just as colonized as you are enslaved in the mind. But what is stopping you from building your own oasis? Huh? At bare minimum, the Mexicans will come into a community and you say, you'll sit there and watch them. They come into the community and look at them. They taking all the jobs. Taking the jobs? Yeah, because they do them for cheap. As if you can't create your own job? Now, many people think everybody want to be rich. Listen, it's economy that make people rich. It's economy. It's not how much you got. It's how you use what you have. It's economy that make people rich. But you'll sit there, they're taking all the jobs as if you can't create a job. The same job that they took, somebody created it for them. Why can't you create your own? Why can't we create an industry? We're too busy crying. And those that's crying about other people, they are being, they caught up in that institutionalized mental slavery, and they let people trigger them and gaslight them for not doing something for themselves. If we really want to do something, we ain't worrying about what the Haitians are doing. We ain't worrying about what the Jamaicans are doing. In fact, I would guarantee you the moment that we start building and constructing something for ourselves, you probably will get some of the Haitians, some of the Mexicans, and some of the Jamaicans and Africans and everybody else trying to come over there and see how they can help. Finally, the greatest people on earth are building something for themselves. How can I help? Finally. And then the ones that's talking about you, nobody is going to pay them no mind. Oh, black people are lazy. People going to look at them like they're crazy. You need to go back to Africa. People going to look at them like they crazy because now you have taken your destiny into your own hands and you begin to build something, and you're not 50 years old calling people tethers. They're not 55 years old telling people, go back to your country, as the European used to tell us. You follow me? Anyway, family, I got turned up tonight. They want me to open the channel. I'm going to open the lines up tomorrow night. Y'all going to be here tomorrow night. I'm going to open the lines. I had to vent a little bit. You know what I mean? Somebody said, can you open the line up? How can I call into debate? Email me at tahakabay@gmail.com and explain to me what your debate is. If it makes sense, I will gladly debate it. But what I would like to do is have a moderator because I don't want to overtalk you and I don't want you to overtalk me. So if you're serious about having a conversation, email me at tahakabay@gmail.com. All right? And we can have this conversation. All right? You got me? That's right. Email me at tahakabay@gmail.com. You feel me? Make sure you do it. If you do that, we got something happening. We good to go. If you don't email me, I'm gonna just think that you just talking. Do we really want to hear goofiness tonight? Now, we'll wait till tomorrow. Correction, GS. It's not a flag. It's the Star-Spangled Banner, and the banner is not a flag. Man, it's a flag. It's a rag. It's a banner. It is what it is, family. Listen, man, I don't get into MB. Be honest with you, I don't get into the technicalities of whether it's a flag or a banner. It doesn't make a difference to me. It doesn't make a difference to me. It really does. I don't think that's really important in the conversation. Whether the United States flag is a banner, they call it a flag, and they sung about it a banner. Like, okay, Benjamin Banner, tomato. It still represents the same thing. It represents liberty and freedom that has been, but no liberty and freedom has been perpetrated under it. You know what I mean? For our people. You know what I mean? But that's what it represents. That's what it's supposed to represent. You know what I mean? Old liberty. But for our people, we still are up against systems that don't want us to have liberty. And so you got to take your place in the affairs of men. You got to design a program to get you and your people libertized. That's a good word. That's a good word. But anyway, with that being said, family, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you, family. Y'all better watch these people out here, family. You better watch them, family.
We ain't no internet prophets. We ain't no internet social media prophets. No, are we social media actors. Let me tell you what I do, family.
Check 1, 2.
I created this media with the help of my brothers and all these men and all the good people of the Moorish side.
Y'all some internet prophets and you need to stop before someone catch you on the block and cock it, or catch you at your lecture and rock your knocking. Yeah, man, and me, cause I'm exposing your robbers. I used to be a robber, I was robbing the thugs, and the agents in the hood selling nasty grub. I was only 17 and I didn't know better. Put them things in their face and said, give me the cheddar. But it really amazed me, the age of 40, that people will use the things that would annoy me to rob our people like Bibles and Qurans. Take your money and then they gone. Shoot, selling plagiarized books and dreams of unity. Blame the European, but look what you do to me. Got me thinking we gon' overcome. Coming soon! You really one of them. You're gonna have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the birds. With your unks, your crystals, your books, your herbs. You convinced everybody that it's white supremacy. The fact of the matter. Coming up soon, family! Exposing real tether. You're gonna have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the birds. With your unks, your crystals, your books and herbs. Now they calling me the ops cause I revealed the scam. They will shake your hand and still grip your fam. And say, Hotep, peace, black power, shalom. Assalamu alaikum, praise the Lord in Islam. And at the same time, plotting to get in your pocket. They will white label sunglasses, cups and watches. Come on. Make a profit for the enemy they talk about. I can't understand why you ain't been walking out. You ain't noticed since you met them, you slipping in life. On Twitter like the pipe and it just ain't right. Bank account got light and you haven't seen the light. You burn all the sage and ain't change your plight. Incense burning, crystals turning. Think to yourself, what you really learning? What you really saw? You gave him your all on the museum club and internet mall. Selling deodorant and hurry up and buy. He don't really care if you're broke and you die. He just acting like that you don't care either. This is pure evil. Have to watch it back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the everybody hit that thumbs up. Your crystals, your books, your herbs. You convinced everybody that is white supremacy. The fact of the matter is you're the real enemy. You've been lying to the people fat in your pocket. You ain't nothing but an internet prophet. You gonna have to watch it back. Thank you, King Dot. No, good and well you can't sleep at night. Hold on. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the birds with your unks, your crystals, your books and herbs. Let me talk to my brother. Back for the rest of your life. I know good and well you can't sleep at night. You done robbed everybody from the hood to the burbs with your unks, your crystals, your books, your herbs. You convinced everybody that is white supremacy. The fact of the matter is you're the real enemy. You've been lying to the people fat in your pockets. You ain't nothing but an internet prophet. Man, let me thank people like King Thot for checking in, and I'm reading your comments, and I hope you change the name to King Thoth if you can, because King Thot don't sound right. We know what a thought is, but I actually do appreciate your commentary. I also appreciate the other trolls. Your trolls in your videos actually give it some life. I give a lot of life to the videos that I do. Thanks to Moochie Bear and the Moochie Bear Cubs that send me information. So I really appreciate it. But with that being said, I just want to appreciate the conversation. MB say words matter, GS. I don't give that much energy to manipulated words by Europeans. I don't give that much energy to it in context of the conversation. That somebody else can, but not me, in context of the conversation. With that being said, I'm not going to be sitting there, a banner, whatever. I don't need to. That ain't that important to me. But family, coming real soon, we're going to have a show called Exposing the Real Tether. And this is a deep dive into who this person really is. This person has been a celebrity. This person has been, a makeshift celebrity, a Z celebrity. This person has been activist, makeshift, fake activist. He's been a lot of things. And so coming real soon, the research is there. The research is there, family. And a lot of this research is some of the research that will be in the documentary that will be coming out hopefully by the end of this year. Depends on how things go behind the scenes with some things that I'm up against. And that's what I'm talking. And I'm talking about these lawsuits that are still open. I want to wait till those close out first before if it takes too long, then I'm gonna go ahead. I already got my legal premise to put it out, so it definitely can go out at any time, and legally I'll be fine. But at the end of the day, I'll wait until this lawsuit thing gives me some idea of the direction that it's going, and I'll know that in a few days. But coming soon. I don't know if it may be Saturday, so make sure you hit the bell for the dessert. Hit the bell for the alert, because you don't want to miss Exposing the Real Tether. You don't want to miss it. It'll be coming soon. Trust me on it. You don't want to miss it. And let me say something, family. I know people love my thumbnails lately. I've been characterized in cartoons as a robber. I've been characterized in cartoons as a registered offender. I've been on thumbnails in cartoon imagery. And so those things, many of the things were untrue, which was characterized. But this man unit thing, it's real. This man unit thing, yeah. You see what happened to Steve Harvey when he took his man unit off. And this is what's going to happen when Marcus take his man unit off. It is what it is. It is what it is. When you take a man unit off, this is what you get. So, family, I thank you for joining me tonight. I hope to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. I do have a meeting tomorrow for the Moorish Science Temple of America, but that meeting is over at 8 o'clock. So if I have time to throw a show together, I will. And so tomorrow is Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow is Thursday. So if not tomorrow, I will definitely be here Saturday. And Saturday will be Exposing the Real Tether. And then on Sunday, family, I forgot to tell you, on Sunday, I am going to have, who I'm going to have. Oh, I know who I'm going to have on Sunday. I'm going to have Melchizedek on Sunday. Did I tell y'all about that? Anybody know Melchizedek? The great priest, Melchizedek. I'm going to have him on Sunday. You know what I mean? Melchizedek. Let me see if I can find the flyer real quick. Melchizedek be on Sunday. In fact, I'm gonna share it on Facebook, if you will. Yeah, Melchizedek. There you go, right here. Let me share it to you. So he'll be on Sunday, and the subject matter will be, who is the next leader of the NOI? And is the Minister Farrakhan the Messiah? Melchizedek will be answering the question. You know what I mean? Because you know people in the NOI said Minister Farrakhan is the Messiah. That he's the one. He's Jesus, basically. So that's the question I'm going to ask. And everything will hang upon that. And who is the next leader? He's going to make his prediction. And we're going all the way in with some questions that probably only I can answer. So, yeah. So, the priest, Melchizedek, will be here on Sunday. And hopefully somebody will email me and I can bring them on the show tomorrow. As long as they're respectful, we'll have a good show. So, family, I appreciate you. And I see you